So imagine this. You need to record a voiceover for a project you are creating. Seems easy enough, right? Well, sure. Let's imagine that hypothetically, you happen to own a nice mid-range microphone that you have set up nicely at your computer ready to start recording. Good to go, right? Unfortunately, it's not always that simple, and anyone with even a tiny amount of experience working with audio will more than likely say the same thing. So yes, if all other factors are constant, a more expensive, professional-level microphone will yield higher quality audio most of the time. But the thing is, all other factors are almost never constant. These variable factors I'm about to discuss can make or break your audio quality in a heartbeat, so it's very important that you be aware of them so you can make sure you have total control during your recording session. The great thing about recording voiceovers is you have the ability to have complete control over your environment. This is incredibly beneficial because sound is a physical force that is constantly affected by the space it exists in. So how do you manipulate your environment to get the best sound quality as possible in your recording? Here are 5 great ways to improve your audio quality when creating a voiceover. One of the most important objectives when recording a voiceover is minimizing the ability of sound waves to reflect off of any external surfaces in your environment, because these waves will then travel back into your microphone and conflict with your voice as you speak. In layman's terms, you need to reduce echo, or reverb, which brings us right into tip number 1. This first one may sound obvious or even weird, but making it so there's less room for sound to travel between your mouth and the mic will eliminate any extra reverb that can reduce the audio quality. While it will depend on the mic you're using, for the average cardioid mic, a distance of about 6 inches is a good standard. Now, I'm not saying you should lock yourself in a dark closet, but you might want to try it if you're someone who wants to have absolutely no reverb and you're not about to rent a studio to record a 5-minute voiceover. If you'd rather not do that, or you're afraid of the dark like me, your next best bet is to make sure the room you're recording in has plenty of furniture, and that the wall has at least a few things hanging on it. Basically, you want to be in a place that has a minimal amount of flat surfaces for sound to reflect off of. So have you ever listened to a video or podcast where someone was talking and they might have been saying something super interesting or insightful, but all you could hear was the annoying blast into your ears whenever they pronounced the letter P or S? Annoying, right? Well, trust me, it's just as annoying when you finish recording a voiceover and when you listen back to it, you're greeted with those lovely P's and S's. In the audio world, they actually have a term: plosives and sibilants, and you always want to avoid them when recording any audio. Luckily, there's a very simple way to do just that: a pop filter. Assuming you aren't simply talking too close to the mic, which can also cause similar issues, a pop filter, which is usually a thin layer of material, usually nylon or metal mesh, stretched around a frame, will block fast gusts of air that cause unwanted plosives and sibilants. All you have to do is position the filter between the mic and your mouth while recording. And if you're not wanting to spend extra money, there are plenty of DIY tutorials out there that show you how to make one at home. Another thing that can ruin any voiceover is vibration. You might not notice it while you're recording, but any small tap on the desk, rotating of a chair, or even shifting of fabric on your clothing can often be picked up by a sensitive microphone, and this is the last thing you want. So there are 2 parts to this. 1, you obviously want to try to avoid moving yourself and really any contact with objects near the mic during the recording. The second part is minimizing the ability of the mic to pick up vibrations, which can be accomplished in a multitude of ways. I won't go into specifics in this video, but 2 common methods are connecting your mic to a shock mount and using a boom pole or arm of some sort to make it harder for vibrations to travel into the microphone. This last tip could be easily expanded into its own video, but I'll just touch on what I think is most important for this. So usually when you're recording a voiceover, it is either directly or indirectly inputting the audio into your computer as you record, and there are some things you should know about the digital side of audio. An audio interface isn't necessary for all mics, but it is definitely extremely helpful. Always record voiceovers in mono, not stereo. This means that both audio channels are going into one, instead of having 2 different audio channels that play different sounds in each ear. When adjusting the volume of your voiceover after you're done recording, stick between -6 and -12 decibels and balance any other audio around that. If you're brand new to the world of sound and voiceover, that last step probably sounded very confusing, but that's okay. Learning all of this is just a process that everyone has to go through themselves, and the only way to truly understand these things is by trying them out yourself and making mistakes. And remember to enjoy it. Thanks for watching.